Thanks for joining us on another special edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line. I'm Tony Carvajal, the Executive Vice President of the Florida Chamber Foundation, and I'm here joined today with Dr. Ed Moore with the Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida. Ed Moore serves as a trustee, and Ed, you've been a long-time thought leader in Florida on education and a friend, so thanks for joining us here today.
Sure.
I was really struck when I heard you recently on the radio talking about you being a longtime Floridian and how many people were in this state when you were first born and how many people we got now. Just give us a picture for our audience.
When I was a little kid living down on South Beach, actually South Beach wasn't South Beach what we think of now, there were about less than 3 million people in Florida. And when I was a little kid.
That's Florida, not South
That's Florida. Yeah, Florida actually at the time was the smallest southern state, the smallest in population of the southern states. Now we're the third largest state in the country. That's a big change in my lifetime. That's a tremendous change. Of course, if I go back to my ancestors here back in 1835 when my great-great-grandfather Archibald Mixon moved here to Wakahuta, Florida, which nobody even knows where it is now, but there were 38,000 people in the state back then. I mean, not too many. Florida's always been chasing its own growth. My entire lifetime we've been chasing our own growth, and it's something that we probably will continue to do so. But we have to make sure we manage that growth properly, or manage the needs for that growth. You're not going to control the growth. This is a magnet state. People are going to come here. But we have to be able to accommodate them in a good way.
So you've been a great partner in getting us to realize that talent is a big part of positioning for that. How do we prepare people with what they think, what they know, and how they can deliver into our economy? We obviously approach things from a learners to earners perspective, cradle to career. You've been a leader in the education space for a little while. One of the things we've talked about in the past is about teachers in Florida. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that.
I'm scared. I think it's a crisis that's looming. Not just in Florida. I've talked to my colleagues around the country, and we're seeing this in a lot of places. There have been a lot of reasons, but education's not a real attractive field anymore for students in college. You don't see it. We did an analysis over a 5-year time span. In Florida alone, we produced 29% fewer teachers over a most recent 5-year period. While we've been growing 350 to 400,000 people a year, we're producing fewer teachers. If we don't have a quality individual standing in every classroom, and even you could bring in all the technology and all the changes and everything going on, you still have to have a general, if you will, or a conductor, the maestro, that's in each classroom across the state. We're not doing that. We've got people teaching out of field now, and this is not just Florida, this is all over. We have to do something to re-professionalize that profession, to make it more attractive and to attract more people into it as a worthwhile career that has a tremendous impact. All the other things we've talked about, being ready, having the right people in the right place at the right time. If you don't have a teacher there to cause that to happen, it's not going to happen. And that should be a real focal point of our efforts.
Teachers are a big part of our success, obviously, for preparing somebody to move from the K-12 system to whatever's next, college, career, wherever it is that they're going. What can businesses do to support them, or any advice on how to connect the whole system together?
Yeah, well, we talked earlier about having the businesses talking to universities. I think a good place might be to talk to the deans of education in schools around the state, getting them more engaged with what are the business needs. Particularly the IT sector, people that are in the technology sectors, so that we are making sure the teachers we are preparing, the ones that are coming into the workforce, are fully prepared to be in the classroom of tomorrow, which is today. You know, we keep talking about tomorrow, but it's happening now. And they need to be able to use all the technology that's available and understand things as well as their students do. You know, there's a fellow from Apple that talks about nativists, that the generation growing up now are nativists when it comes to technology. If you're 20 years old now, you understand all this stuff because it's been here your entire life. So you're used to using the technology. Well, the teacher in front of that classroom might not have grown up through that, and we've got to make sure that they are, and make sure that business understands, here's how, this is what we're doing, and is it right for you? Again, it's a communication issue.
This is exactly what we'll be talking about at the upcoming Learners to Earners Summit this June, and I'm hoping that you and others will join us at this event. If you're a business leader, if you're a community leader, if you're an educator, if you're anybody concerned with the transition from K-12 to higher ed or cradle to career, hopefully you'll join us at this year's Education Summit, Learners to Earners, June 13th and 14th. For this edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line, I'm signing out right now. We'll be back soon to talk about how to continue this conversation.